Ted, Putin may have underestimated the unity of NATO and the Western allies, but is there a real consensus within Europe for even tighter sanctions, possibly an outright ban on Russian energy imports?
There's no such consensus. There is growing sentiment for it. But you still have Germany resisting imposing a full embargo on Russian energy exports. You have other countries in the alliance that will be reluctant to escalate the sanctions beyond where they are now. And as I said, when it comes to weapons aid or anything else, there is no real consensus within the alliance. And if Washington pushes that, I think we will see some visible splits in NATO's ranks.
If we can circle back to the China factor, does Beijing's approach to Russian aggression in Ukraine and before that, the China-Russia no-limits partnership suggest Beijing is facing secondary sanctions because of this alignment with Russia, it seems, and a far more challenging relationship with the United States?
I think that Beijing is daring the United States and the Western powers to impose even modest sanctions on China. And we have to remember, China is not the only significant power that's not on board with a Western policy of economic punishment of Russia. You have India very consistently trying to stay out of the fray, but not committing to an anti-Russia policy. You have South Africa absolutely refusing to sign on to a system of sanctions against Russia. You have some of the Middle East powers that Washington normally relies on for support, not on board for a coercive policy toward Russia. Once you get outside the traditional U.S.-led network of allies, there is very little global unity on how to deal with Russia. We saw that with the original UN General Assembly vote earlier in March about condemning the Russian invasion, demanding a full withdrawal and immediate withdrawal of Russian forces. You had some 35 countries abstain on that vote, even though it was purely a symbolic vote, one that would easily have placated the United States. So the easy vote was to cast a favorable vote for that resolution. Instead, you have a large number of countries in Asia, in Africa, even in Latin America, refusing to go along. That suggests a lack of global unity about this policy.